Hey, welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're here, because today we're diving into a massive showdown. We're looking at the two absolute heavyweights in artificial intelligence right now, Gemini and ChatGPT. If you've been sitting there feeling like AI is just suddenly everywhere, changing how we work, how we search, how we write, well, you definitely aren't alone. Today, we're going to break all of it down, simply, clearly, and without the headache.
Because let's be real, it's basically impossible to escape the AI hype right now. It's all over the news, it's shoved into every software update, your coworkers are probably debating it at lunch. But beneath all those flashy headlines and crazy tech demos, there's a super practical question for all of us. Between ChatGPT and Gemini, which AI is actually right for you? Which one's going to help you get through your Tuesday, and which one is just noise? Well, that's exactly what we're going to figure out together. Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our quick roadmap. 1. Meet the AI titans. 2. Inside the AI brain. 3. Head-to-head comparison. 4. Ecosystems and integrations. And 5. Choosing your AI champion. All right, Section 1. Meet the AI titans, the heavyweights of the generative AI era. So right now, the whole AI landscape is basically defined by two massive pioneers. You've got OpenAI, they're the creators of ChatGPT. And then you have Google, the absolute powerhouse behind Gemini. And the fascinating thing here, these two titans share the exact same ultimate goal, redefining how we work, how we create, and how we process information. But they've approached this challenge with totally different philosophies. It's kind of like two brilliant engineers tasked with building the world's fastest car. They both want speed, sure, but the engines they've designed look totally different under the hood.
Section 2. Inside the AI brain, translating the tech jargon.
To truly understand what makes these two different, we really need to strip away the intimidating tech jargon for a second. We need to translate what's actually happening when you type a question into these systems. Now, you'll hear the term LLM thrown around constantly. It stands for a large language model. But what does that actually mean? Basically, an LLM is an AI system that's been trained on massive amounts of text, so it can understand and generate human language by simply predicting what comes next. Think of the autocomplete feature on your phone, the one that guesses the next word in your text message. Now, imagine that autocomplete feature has read essentially the entire internet, every book, every article, every single Wikipedia page. That is an LLM. It's just predicting the next most logical word over and over again at lightning speed, literally autocomplete on absolute steroids. Now, what's really interesting is if you think of the AI as a master chef. Okay, so before the chef ever even stepped foot in a kitchen, they sat down and read every single recipe ever written by humanity. That insane reading phase, that's what we call the training data. Now, when you ask the AI to write an essay or solve a math problem, you are basically asking the chef to cook. The AI isn't just copying one specific recipe. Instead, using all that vast knowledge, it predicts the next perfect ingredient, or in the AI's case, the next word or token, to whip up a brand new, completely unique dish just for you. And to actually make those perfect predictions, the AI relies on something called parameters. And we aren't talking about a few thousand here. We're talking hundreds of billions of them. Hundreds of billions. You can kind of think of parameters as the individual flavor combinations that our master chef has memorized. Does salt go with caramel? Yes. Does garlic go with vanilla? Probably not. So an AI model with hundreds of billions of parameters has learned billions of these super nuanced relationships between words, concepts, and facts. And that's exactly what allows it to generate those incredibly sophisticated human-sounding responses.
Section 3. Head-to-head comparison. OpenAI's GPT-4 versus Google's Gemini Ultra and Pro. Okay, this is where it gets really fun. Let's pit OpenAI's top-tier GPT-4 architecture straight up against Google's Gemini Ultra and Pro models to see how those different philosophies actually play out in the real world. The absolute best way to think about their core differences is through this analogy. ChatGPT, it's like a brilliant novelist. It's this hyper-focused scholar that has basically locked itself in a massive library of text, mastering the written word, complex logic, and deep coding languages. Gemini, on the flip side, was built to be a Swiss Army knife. It's a highly versatile multi-tool, designed from the ground up to handle lots of different types of information all at once, not just text.
So the crucial point is how they were actually constructed. ChatGPT has what we call a text-first architecture. It learned text brilliantly first, and then later on, OpenAI sort of bolted on the ability for it to see images or hear audio. But Gemini features a native multimodal design. Now, multimodal is really just a fancy tech way of saying it natively understands multiple modes of data. From day one, literally from the ground up, Gemini was trained on text, images, audio, and video all simultaneously. It didn't learn text first and pictures later, it learned them all together. Kind of like how a human baby learns to see and hear at the exact same time. And this brilliantly illustrates how they stack up when we compare them directly. ChatGPT's core strength really remains its deep, sophisticated text and logic analysis, which is built on specialized modules patched together over time. But Gemini's core strength? That's its native multimodal processing. You can feed it a paragraph of text, a photo, a voice memo, and a video clip, and its native integration allows it to analyze all of those inputs collectively at the exact same time without breaking a sweat. And to be completely objective here, one isn't strictly better than the other. They just have fundamentally different superpowers.
Section 4. Ecosystems and integrations where these AI titans live.
Let's move on and see how this builds into your actual life. Because it's one thing to have a powerful AI, but you want it where you actually do your work, right? This is the true battleground. Because OpenAI has a massive partnership with Microsoft, the ChatGPT engine is weaving its way deeply into the Microsoft ecosystem. We're talking Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and their whole Copilot system. Gemini naturally is being integrated directly into the Google Workspace ecosystem. So that means the Gemini intelligence is living right inside your Google Docs, your Gmail, and your Google Drive. This is where those billions of parameters we talked about actually save you time in the real world. We're talking practical, everyday applications here. These AIs are being drafted to help you write those completely tedious Tuesday morning emails, to help programmers code and debug software way faster, to analyze those massive, headache-inducing spreadsheets to spot trends, and honestly, just to serve as a tireless brainstorming partner for creative content. The idea is that the AI sits right inside the tools you already use, ready to act as your ultimate superpowered assistant. Section 5. Choosing your AI champion, the right tool for your specific needs.
All right, it is time to strip away the marketing hype and make a practical, informed decision based on what you actually need. And the verdict is remarkably straightforward. You should probably lean towards ChatGPT if your day-to-day requires deep, highly nuanced text generation, really complex logical reasoning, or advanced coding help. That brilliant novelist architecture we talked about, it really shines there. However, you should definitely choose Gemini if your work life already revolves around the Google Workspace ecosystem, or, and this is key, if you constantly need to analyze mixed media. Like if you need an AI to watch a video, look at a chart, and read a document all at the exact same time. Ultimately, the champion entirely depends on what your specific daily tasks look like.
I really want to highlight this concept because it's absolutely vital to understanding where all of this is heading. The future of AI isn't just a text box. It's an ecosystem of intelligence working seamlessly across all our daily tools. This massive arms race between Google and OpenAI, it's pushing both companies to take these incredibly complex brains and integrate them totally invisibly into everything we do. Pretty soon, we aren't even going to think about prompting an AI. It's just going to be an intelligent layer baked straight into our daily workflow. Which leaves us with this final, provocative thought for you to ponder. We've explored the tech, we've broken down the jargon, and we've compared what these two incredible tools can actually do. But the technology is really only half the equation here. As these titans of intelligence continue to evolve at just a breakneck pace, how will you adapt your daily workflow to an AI-driven world? The tools are sitting right there, just waiting for you to use them. It's time to start experimenting. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, stay curious, and I'll catch you next time.